Going on, everybody? It's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about the national championship that will commence Monday night in Houston, Texas. We got the Michigan Wolverines versus the Washington Huskies. Now, both of these teams are almost evenly matched. And the reason why I say almost evenly matched because Washington, you got Michael Penix Jr., you got two dominant wide receivers and tight ends on the Washington Huskies offense. And with Michigan, you got the top defense in all of college football. And plus, throughout the season, the Michigan Wolverines have only given up 16 points per game in all of their games. So, a dominant offense in Washington and you got a dominant defense in Michigan. Where the something's got to give. Now, one thing about the Michigan run game, their run game is more dominant than Washington's run game because most of the time, 55% of the time, Michael Penix is throwing the ball to his wide receivers. Now let me tell you, Michael Penix, he has a good passer rating. He has a good deep ball. I mean, I seen in that game versus Texas where he was throwing complete darts. I mean, he was throwing the ball in tight windows. I mean, it was one play where I seen where he had this much space to get the ball in there, and he got it in there just before the receiver got there. I mean, he was threading the needle with all of his passes Monday night versus Texas. He is going to have to do that against Michigan too, because I don't think that that the Washington Huskies defense can hold up versus Michigan because Michigan's run game is much more dominant than the Washington Huskies run game. So Michael Penix, he might have to throw his way to the championship, just like J.J. McCarthy did versus Alabama, like I said in my previous video. Now, it won't be a tough task for him to throw his way because Michael Penix Jr., he hasn't thrown that many interceptions all season. Now, due to credit, look at the defenses that he has been playing. Texas, not a top defense. Then in the Pac-12 championship, Oregon, okay defense at times, a decent defense at times, but they not a top five defense. And you look back throughout the regular season, he wasn't really playing those top 10, top notch type of defenses that he is going to be playing on Monday night in Houston in the national championship game. So he might have to throw his way to a game. I wouldn't be surprised if he throw his way and the Washington Huskies win the game and win the national championship. But it's a whole lot of stuff that's got to fall in place for Washington to win this game. I mean, Michigan, they have a couple of guys that are injured, but I think that they are coming back for this game. And the defense is just so stout. They dominate every offensive line that they have played this season. And I seen that versus Alabama. Michigan, they were pushing Alabama's offensive linemen off of the line. They had four sacks. Four sacks in the game versus Alabama. As a defense, the Michigan Wolverines defense has averaged a total of four sacks a game. So they was at their average in the game. The most sacks that they've had in a game this season was 6 to Rutgers. So that not too much. Not that wasn't Rutgers really wasn't no competition. So they were just having a field day against them. So, like I said, the top-notch competition that they have played, Michigan, the top-notch competition that they have played is only Ohio State, Penn State, and Alabama. That's the only competition that Michigan has played, which they've had tests in those games. They were down in all of those games at one point, and they came back and won. Now for Washington's sakes, they've played 4 top-ranked teams. They were down in all of those games, came back and won. I believe most of their wins have come against most of their wins have come against teams in the top 25. So they have a lot of quality wins on their schedule. So I go to so now I'm gonna go to the defenses. The defenses, like I said, Michigan, they average 16 points a game given up on defense. The Washington Huskies defense, this is where the balance starts to teeter off in Michigan's favor, because the Washington Huskies, they've given up 28 points per game. They gave up 31 to Texas Monday night. Washington's defense is decent at times, but their defense is too shaky. They give up their running game, their running defense is bad. Their third down defense is bad. They can't get off the field on third down. If it's third and short, like when I say third and short, I mean 3rd and 4 or shorter. They can't get off the field. If it's 3rd and long, they still can't get off the field, because it was a couple of 3rd and 15s that the Huskies defense had with Texas, and Texas still managed to get a first down. It's like, what is the defensive coordinator calling? What is the Washington Huskies defensive coordinator calling? The defense, they are going to have to tighten up if they want to stay competitive with Michigan. Now, I'm gonna go to the quarterbacks. Michael Penix, like I said, he gonna have to throw his way to a game. He gonna have to throw his way to a win. Now the running back for the Washington Huskies, he is injured a little bit, and I don't know if he is going to start for the for the national championship. But if he can't, the running game is going to take a significant dive for the Washington Huskies, because their second running back, only thing throughout the season, he has only had over 400 yards of total offense as far as the second running back, and he's only had 2 touchdowns. Especially now the run game takes a significant dive if the top bell cow for the Washington Huskies can't suit up. As far as Michigan's run game, Blake Corum, he is the bell cow for Michigan. He is going to start this game. He don't have any injuries. Now, if Washington can't account for Blake Corum, the defense is going to have trouble with him all night long. The Alabama defense had trouble with Blake Corum. I mean, now I already done said that 4th down and 2 play where Michigan needed it. Everybody was covered, but they let Blake Corum go out in the flat for 27 yards, and he got a big first down. Mainly that was, if they don't get that 4th and 2, the season is over. That's how big that was. So now, Both running games are pretty much they have the top guy as their lead bell cow. The quarterbacks. I'm gonna get to JJ McCarthy now. JJ McCarthy, he has earned my respect after the Alabama win. He earned my respect. I didn't coming into the Alabama game, I didn't know if he was going to be able to throw his way to victory, but he did. And plus, I can say that I was being a little disrespectful because of the schedule that Michigan played, because Michigan's schedule was almost like Georgia's schedule, but just a little bit more easier. But like I said, I've played football. I played football in middle school and in high school. And you'll take the wins. You'll take those wins any way you can get them. I completely understand that. You'll take them 35-point wins just the same as you'll take them 1 or 2 point wins. Now, with JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, he didn't get sacked in the Alabama game. He didn't get sacked in the Big Ten championship game versus Iowa. And he hasn't got sacked in the last three games. And plus, he had a decent stat line versus Alabama. But now this is the time where if you're JJ McCarthy, you have to insert yourself. You have to say that this is my championship, because I believe that this is Michigan's championship to win. But I'm gonna say my prediction later on in this video. But if you got Blake Corum doing, if Blake Corum get over 150 yards in this game, which Blake Corum will get over 150 running yards in this game, because the Washington Huskies defense is middle of the pack in college football. To be exact, they are ranked 75th in total defense. What I mean by that is 75th in total defense. They give up over 200 yards in the run game. And Texas, they had over 185 yards in the run game when they played them Monday night. So it's not gonna be hard for Blake Corum to get 150 yards this game. And plus, it's not going to be hard for JJ McCarthy to have a good game. He might go, let's say in this game, he can go 25 for 33 in this game for over, pass for over 250 yards and win this game. And I do see that happening. This is now, like I said, Michael Penix Jr., he had a good season and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington wins this game. Now, I know I keep on saying that. I'm pretty sure y'all are saying, Keytown, why you keep flip-flopping? I'm saying this because, hypothetically, if Michigan doesn't show up and handle business and let the Washington Huskies hang around, the Washington Huskies can very well win this game. But I expect Michigan's defense to take over this game early and often and make it tough for Michael Penix Jr., his wide receivers, tight ends, and running back. So now I'm going to get to who I think is going to win this game. You got top-notch Michigan defense, JJ McCarthy, Blake Corum, wide receivers galore, tight ends galore, and on the other side, you got the Washington Huskies. You have the Washington Huskies, Michael Penix Jr., wide receivers, tight ends, running back, who is a little shaken up, may play, but who knows? I'm going into this game thinking that Washington's injuries, all of those guys will play. So that's why I'm saying it like this. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, with what Michigan has to offer, I know that Washington has a whole lot more firepower than Michigan, but I just think Michigan is schematically on the defensive side of the ball too explosive. Michigan is too explosive on defense. I expect this game to be a close game, but I'm teetering towards this game being a blowout too if Washington's offense can't come and stay on the field early. Now, as far as this championship game, I'm gonna tell y'all, as far the reason why I say it could be close and it could be a block, because the last 5 of the last 6 national championships have been blowouts, and the championship winner has won the last 5 of the last 6 championship winners. They have won the national championship by an average of 18 points. So I hope this game is not a blowout, but it might be a blowout. So what I am going to say is I got the Michigan Wolverines winning this game by I'm gonna say 2 touchdowns. That's all I'm gonna say. But if Washington can't get their run game going and passing game going with Michael Penix, this game could be a blowout, and Michigan could win by more than 14. But I am gonna keep it at 14 because Washington Huskies, that team. I have a whole lot of respect for that team. Coming into the season, they wasn't supposed to get this far. So that's why I'm saying that Michigan will win by just 2 touchdowns. This national championship game will not be the national championship game from last year. That 65-7 blowout that we seen, that was a complete drubbing in the national championship between UGA and TCU. We not going to see nothing like that this year. The bettors, the investors, and people, all of college football and college football fans like myself, and to you all out there, this will be a more competitive game than last year. I got Michigan winning this game, winning this championship by at least 14 points. And with that, those are my predictions for the 2024 National Championship game, which will be located in NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas on Monday night. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, the key is always on time.